Welcome, chosen ones. You've arrived here, and it's no coincidence. You're part of a journey that runs far deeper than the surface of this world could ever reveal. Whether you've known this for a long time or are just beginning to realize it, there's a reason you've always felt different, set apart. There's a reason your soul has longed for something beyond the ordinary, something higher. Today we'll dive into that, into you, and into your journey of quiet transformation. Something others may not see, but you can feel deeply. Have you ever reflected on your life and wondered why, even as a child, you felt older than your years? Why you carried a weight that seemed invisible to others? You viewed the world through eyes far wiser than your age would suggest. At the time, you didn't fully understand it, but deep down, you knew you were different. You may have even struggled with this, feeling misunderstood, out of place among friends, and perhaps even within your own family. But let me ask you this: what if those early challenges weren't mistakes? What if they were preparing you for something greater? In today's video, we're going to explore a topic that many of you have lived through without fully realizing its significance. We'll discuss why chosen ones, people like you, often seem older and more mature in their youth, yet somehow grow younger in spirit as they age. We'll dive into the internal battles you've faced, the chaos that shaped you, and the fears that held you back, all of which were part of a divine plan. At times, you may have felt lost, your identity shifting, unsure of who you were or where you were headed. But over time, something within you changed. God began working within you, calming the storms and bringing peace to your heart. As that peace grew, it started to show. Now, when you look in the mirror, you see someone transformed. Someone who radiates inner strength, purpose, and the presence of God. This video will speak to the heart of that journey. We'll uncover why, as you grow closer to becoming the person God created you to be, your appearance, energy, and spirit seem to reverse the aging process. So, as you continue your journey, remember that every step you take is part of a greater plan. Even when the path seems unclear, trust that God is guiding you, just as He has been all along. The struggles you face today are not meant to break you, they are meant to build you, to shape you into the person you were always meant to become. The moments of doubt, the times of feeling lost, they are all temporary, and they will give way to a deeper understanding of yourself and of God's purpose for your life. There will be days when you feel tired, when the weight of the world feels too heavy to carry. On those days, remember that you are never walking alone. God is with you, lifting you up, giving you strength when yours seems to run out. His power is made perfect in your weakness, and in those moments of vulnerability, you can lean on Him completely. You don't have to have it all figured out. You don't have to be perfect. You just need to keep moving forward, trusting that God's grace will carry you through. And as you move forward, continue to let go of the things that no longer serve you. Release the fears, the anxieties, the need for approval from others. You are not defined by the opinions of this world. You are defined by the love of God, and that love is unchanging. It is not something you have to earn. It is a gift, freely given, and it is enough. As you grow into the fullness of who you are, you will notice that the things that once caused you so much pain, the people and situations that once drained your energy, no longer have the same hold on you. You are rising above them, not because you are better, but because you are stronger in spirit. You are learning to protect your peace, to surround yourself with people who uplift and support you. You are learning to say no to what doesn't align with your values and to embrace the things that bring you closer to God's purpose for your life. In this process of growth, you will continue to change, and that's okay. Not everyone will understand your journey. Some will question your choices, and others may even distance themselves from you. But that's part of the path. Not everyone is meant to go where you are going. Some people are in your life for a season, and when their time is up, it's okay to let them go with love and gratitude for the lessons they taught you. Your journey is uniquely yours. The path God has set before you is one that no one else can walk. So, don't compare yourself to others. Don't measure your progress by the standards of this world. You are exactly where you need to be, and every step you take is bringing you closer to the life God has prepared for you. Trust in His timing, even when it doesn't align with your own. Trust that every delay, every detour, is serving a purpose, even if you can't see it yet. And while you walk this path, remember to be kind to yourself. You are human, and you will make mistakes. You will have days when you feel like you've taken 2 steps back after making progress. But that's part of the journey too. Growth is not always linear, and healing doesn't happen overnight. Be patient with yourself as you continue to heal, to learn, and to grow. Every step, no matter how small, is progress. Celebrate your victories, no matter how insignificant they may seem. Each one is a testament to your strength, to the work God is doing in your life. Don't wait for the big moments to acknowledge your growth. Recognize the small wins, the moments when you chose peace over anger, when you showed kindness in the face of frustration, when you trusted God's plan even when it didn't make sense. These are the moments that build your character, that shape you into the person God is calling you to be. As you continue to transform, remember that you are a reflection of God's love. The light that shines from you is not your own, it is His light, shining through you for the world to see. So, let that light shine. Don't dim it for anyone or anything. The world needs your light, and you are here to make a difference. You are stronger than you realize, more loved than you know, and more capable than you've ever imagined. God is working in you and through you, and the best is yet to come. Keep moving forward with faith, with love, and with the unwavering belief that you are exactly where you are meant to be. And when the journey gets tough, when the road ahead seems uncertain, remember this: God has brought you this far, and He will not abandon you now. He is with you in every step, in every breath, in every decision. He is your strength when you feel weak, your peace in times of chaos, and your guide when the path is unclear. So, take heart, dear one. You are on a divine journey, and every moment, every challenge, every victory is leading you closer to the life God has always intended for you. Trust in His plan, and know that you are exactly where you are supposed to be. The glow that radiates from within you is a reflection of His love, and it is a light that can never be extinguished. Keep shining, keep growing, and keep trusting in the beautiful path that lies ahead. Stay with me, because what you're about to hear may be the confirmation you've been waiting for. There's something unique about you, something that has set you apart from the very beginning. Even as a child, you carried the weight of the world in your eyes. There was a wisdom beyond your years that shone from within, though it wasn't always understood by others. People looked at you and wondered why someone so young seemed to carry the burdens of lifetimes of struggle. You weren't like your peers. You didn't laugh as easily, and you didn't fit into the mold that the world tried to impose on you. It often left you feeling out of place, like you were searching for something you couldn't quite name. Many of you, the chosen ones, have struggled with anxiety, fear, or even addiction. You tried to fill the void with things that could never satisfy the deep longing in your soul. The world around you was chaotic and loud, while you were constantly trying to find your footing. Your identity shifted like the wind. One day you wanted to be bold and noticed, and the next you wanted to disappear. You felt everything too deeply. Friends your age couldn't grasp the intensity of what you were going through, and your family often struggled to understand you. It felt lonely, didn't it? You wore those years on your face, your body, etched with confusion, inner battles, and the weight of constant misunderstandings. At some point, you might have looked in the mirror and didn't recognize yourself. You felt disconnected from your own reflection, like the person staring back didn't match who you wanted to be or the strength you longed to embody. You may not have cared enough to take care of yourself, unsure how to nurture your own body, which felt more like a source of discomfort than a home. You knew deep down you weren't meant to be like everyone else, yet you still longed to fit in, to be accepted, even if it meant reshaping yourself into something that wasn't truly you. No matter what you wore, the clothes never felt right. They fit awkwardly, much like how you felt inside, uncomfortable, misplaced, misunderstood. But all along, something deeper was stirring within you, a call to rise above, to step into the person you were always meant to be. God has always had his hand on you, even in those dark, chaotic years when you felt lost. He was guiding you, shaping you through the fires of life's obstacles, preparing you for a greater purpose than you could have imagined. Over time, things began to shift. Slowly, you started to find yourself. You learned to quiet the noise and listen to the voice of God within your soul. You realized that your body, this vessel, was something to be honored and cared for, not neglected or abused. You began to treat it with respect, not out of vanity, but as a way of valuing the gift that God gave you. You began to nourish yourself, not just with food and exercise, but with peace, stillness, and love. The battles you once fought in your mind and heart started to fade. The confusion that once clouded your identity began to clear, making way for calm, clarity, and a sense of self. The anxiety that once gripped you, the fear that held you back, all started to lose their power. You stopped seeking external things to fill the void, and instead, let God fill you with His grace, His strength, and His purpose. And something incredible happened. You began to look younger. The face that once bore the stress of trying to be everything the world wanted now glows with the peace of knowing who you are in God's eyes. The body that once carried the weight of confusion and turmoil now moves with grace and confidence. Your style is no longer scattered. It's now simple, authentic, and reflects the inner peace you've found. You're no longer hiding behind trends or expectations. Instead, you wear the beauty of truly knowing yourself, and more importantly, knowing God. People see you now and notice something different. You are calm, unshaken by the chaos of the world. There's a glow about you, a softness that only comes from someone who has walked through the fire and emerged purified. Your energy is magnetic, but not in the loud, attention-seeking way of the world. It's quiet, powerful, rooted in something deeper than flesh and bone. It's the light of God shining through you. You used to feel misunderstood, like no one could see you for who you really were. Now, you no longer seek to be understood by everyone, because you know not everyone is meant to walk your path. You've found peace in being set apart, in being chosen. The chosen ones, after all, aren't here to blend in with the world, they're here to transform it. You might still feel different, but now you wear that difference with pride, with honor. You know that God has placed something within you that the world needs, even if it doesn't yet realize it. Yes, the journey wasn't easy. It took time. There were days when the burden felt too heavy, when the anxiety felt like it would swallow you whole. But in every moment, God was with you. He saw your tears, your struggles, your doubts, and He whispered, "Hold on, I'm making something beautiful out of your pain." And now, here you are, standing in the glow of that transformation. As you transformed, the people around you began to notice. Some are drawn to your newfound peace, to your glowing presence. They admire the strength and beauty that radiate from within. They see the change, and it inspires them. But not everyone responds with kindness. Some are envious of your growth, threatened by the light that now shines from you. They may try to tear you down, to dim the glow you've worked so hard to cultivate. But they can't touch it. The strength you carry comes from God, and the glow of a good soul cannot be destroyed by envy or malice. It is a divine light that stands strong against any attempt to diminish it. What they don't understand is that your transformation isn't just physical, it's spiritual. God's hand is on you, and no force can break what He has built within you. As we sit here now, in the presence of who we've become, we look back at the images of our younger selves. We sift through those old photos, the ones we used to avoid, the ones that once made us cringe or feel small. But now, something's different. We see beauty in those faces, in those fragile bodies. We see strength in the eyes of the child or the young adult we used to be. How blind we were to the beauty that was always there, wrapped in innocence, cloaked in the struggle of finding ourselves. We look at those photos now, and the tears that fill our eyes no longer come from a place of shame or regret, but from love. How could we not have seen it back then? The beauty that radiated from us, even in our confusion, even when we thought we were lost. We see now how brave we were, standing in the middle of a world that never understood us, but still we kept moving, we kept trying. The beauty was never in the perfection of the surface, but in the strength that carried us through each day, despite the weight we bore on the inside. We were so young, so fragile, and yet so strong. Those little bodies, those innocent minds, they knew so little, yet they carried us through everything. The fears we battled, the anxiety that wrapped around us like a suffocating blanket, and still we got up each day. We wore masks, not to deceive others, but to protect ourselves from the judgment we feared. We thought the world saw right through us, but what we didn't know was that even then, God saw us for who we truly were. He saw the beauty we couldn't see in ourselves, and He stayed with us, guiding us even when we didn't yet know how to follow Him. Looking back now, with the wisdom we've gained, we see those versions of ourselves not with pity, but with pride. How could we not? They were doing the best they could with what they knew. They were building us, shaping us, laying the foundation for who we would eventually become. They were fighting for us, for the future we're living now. They endured the sleepless nights of doubt, the endless struggles of trying to fit into a world that didn't seem to have a place for us. And now, we stand here, stronger, wiser, and more at peace because of them. We owe them gratitude, those past selves of ours. They loved us more than we ever realized. They fought battles we barely remember, but battles that shaped our very souls. And now, as we look back, we feel an overwhelming sense of love for them. They weren't perfect, no, but they were courageous. They carried dreams that they weren't strong enough to fulfill, but those dreams were never forgotten. They carried them for us, waiting for the day when we would be ready to take them into our own hands and finally make them a reality. We no longer need the approval of others because we know we are already deeply loved by the one who created us, and that love is enough. It always was. But even now, as we embrace this strength, we can't forget the younger versions of ourselves who got us here. They may have been filled with doubts and fears, but they were also filled with hope. They longed for the peace we now hold. They prayed in their own way for the life we are living now. And God heard those prayers. He heard them, even when we thought He wasn't listening. Every tear, every cry for help, He was there, guiding us toward this very moment, even when we couldn't see the path ahead.